talk.
3 hostages have been released by gun-toting Hamas terrorists, but fears are growing for the young Bibas brothers. Their dad, Yarden Bibas, has finally been released after being held for 484 days in captivity by the terror group. He and hostage Ofer Calderon were handed over to the Red Cross in southern Gaza's Khan Yunis. American-Israeli Keith Samuel Siegel was also set free by Hamas as part of the fragile ceasefire deal with Israel. Some 183 Palestinian prisoners in Israel are being freed in the other part of the ceasefire swap. But fears are growing for Yarden's sons Kafir, aged 2, and Ariel, aged 5, as well as his wife Shiri. The boys were kidnapped alongside their parents from Kibbutz Nir Oz during Hamas's October 7th bloodbath. Kafir was only 9 months old when he was barbarically kidnapped. The children and their mum were last seen alive in a horror video being marched through Gaza by the gunmen. The children's aunt, Ofri Bibas Levy, told NBC News early this week that not knowing about their safety is so hard that she wanted to scream. In November, Hamas claimed Shiri and her sons had been killed in an Israeli airstrike, a statement Israel's military said it could not verify at the time. Their dad, Yarden, was reportedly separated from them and held in a different location by the group. Before the hostages were freed on Saturday, they were paraded on stage by Hamas fighters. Surrounded by green, headband-wearing soldiers with rifles, the brave hostages waved during the cruel ceremony. Dozens of terror fighters stood at the makeshift stages with guns and rocket launchers strung over their shoulders as Hamas tried to look strong. The terror group has been hammered by the IDF during the 16-month war, but it has survived. The hostages were then collected by Red Cross vehicles and have now been brought to Israel. Israeli military spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari said earlier this month that the IDF is very concerned and worried about the condition of the Bibas children and their mother. Baby Kafir turned 2 in captivity in January. Across Israel, posters of the red-haired toddler clutching his pink elephant have become a painful symbol of the hostage crisis. 17 of the 33 hostages due for release in the first stage of the ceasefire have now been released in exchange for around 400 Palestinian prisoners and detainees. On Thursday, Hamas released 7 hostages, including Agam Berger, Abel Yehud and Gadi Moses in the third group of hostages to be returned.